me finish my analysis of Willie, and then we'll take a break. And after the break, I'll analyze the other characters, and then we'll have the quiz. Okay? What's bothering Willie? I think that on the one hand, he feels exhausted. Okay, and he feels that he's outdated. He's not well treated. At this moment, at the present moment, he does not go on salary. It's only case by case. I guess some salesperson today also do that. They don't have the basic salary. It's all about commission. Okay. And then on page 48, he also talked about how he helped set up the company, and so I think the grandfather, O. Wagner. Yeah, line 8. If old man Wagner was alive, I'd be in charge of New York now. Okay, that man was a prince. He was a masterful man. But that boy of his, that Howard, so the father and son, so he was close to the father, but not the son. So Howard is one who is about to fire him, actually, in Act 2, okay? So that's one part of Willie, his frustration at work at this moment. And also he refuses to change. Just now we hear Linda mentioning the cheese. This is an interesting example because Willie does not want to take whipped cheese. He's only interested in Swiss cheese. So this is a small example to show how he refuses to change. Simply with the mentioning of the whipped cheese, he then goes on talking about giving the complaint about the whole city. He said that now in the past we have the trees, we have green stuff. Now we are all boxed in. We are all in apartment buildings, boxed in. Okay. This is on page 49. And then he talks about it in terms of America. Why do you get America? He talked about it in terms of, first is about American cheese and Swiss cheese, but then he said that this is a whole problem of the country. About 12 lines from the bottom, there's more people. That's what's ruining this country. Population is getting out of control. The competition is maddening, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so this is the second thing that troubles Willie, that he doesn't like the present situation. He doesn't like how crowded it is in New York, okay? And then the third is revealed, as I said, in the past moment, that he's not, he was not well liked and he's not well known now, okay? Besides the problems in the past, there is one thing that one person he's preoccupied with, and that's Biff. He's very concerned with Biff, and that's why when he talks to himself, frequently he talks to Biff. Okay, at this point in Act 1, we don't know, where the center of their contention is. Later on, we'll know, but we get to know a bit about what the problems are. Like Biff is a rolling stone. He gets 20 to 30 jobs after college, and he doesn't settle down, and he does not find himself at the age of 34. So this is one thing that worries Willie a lot as a father. But then he's self-contradictory. On page 48, this is when Linda mentions that Biff is has come back. Okay, and then Willie is angry and said that the trouble is, the last 5 lines, he's lazy, god damn it. Biff is a lazy bum. But Linda speaks for Biff, and then a few lines down, Willie says, the top of 49, Biff Loman is lost. In this greatest country in the world, a young man with such personal attractiveness gets lost, and such a hard worker. There is something about Biff. He's not lazy. Okay, so here Willie shows that he's self-contradictory. On the one hand, he criticizes Biff. On the other hand, he excuses him. He thinks that it's a problem of the country, but not Biff himself. Okay. And then, yes, he is nostalgic about the past. His mind wanders off to the past, where he remembers the happy moments he has with the sons, and also he remembers the father, and how the father has a flute. Let me show you. This is where the implications of the flute becomes apparent. In the band episode, page 65. In on the slide of the stage direction, I gave you the pagination of the places where the flute appears, and here. Okay, the 65, the first stage direction, new music is heard, a high rollicking tune. Father was a very great man, a very wild-hearted man. We would start in Boston, and he'd toss the whole family into a wagon. Then he'd drive the team right across the country through Ohio and Indiana, Michigan, Illinois, blah, blah, blah. Rugged, well-liked. That's how I'm bringing them up. Like the father, rugged, well-liked, well-around. Can you find where the flute is mentioned? Huh? The same page, right? Huh? The flute. They mentioned that the father makes a great flute. Where? Oh, yes, just in the same passage. And we stopped in the towns and sell the flutes that he made on the way. Great inventor, father. With one gadget, he made more in a week than a man like you could make in a lifetime. So, yes, I read a different version, so I didn't mark it. Yes, this is an example to show how the flute suggests not only with nostalgia, but more specifically, how he misses the kind of time and life the father can have out in the wilderness, being on the road, being free, and then being well-liked, and being very skillful with hands, knowing how to make the flutes. Okay, and I think that's also why Willie praises Biff for knowing how to place the ball, play the football, and also he's skillful in polishing the car. So all of that has to do with the hands, being skillful with hands. Okay, so this is to show how Willie is contradictory about Biff. That he criticizes him on the one hand, he's disappointed, but then on the other hand, he believes in him. He feels that he is well educated and he's a promising young man. Okay, he used to be a promising young man. Okay. On the other hand, I think that Linda is always supportive, perceptive, but she's a little bit blind. Let's take a short break. In half an hour, I'm going to finish the rest of the lecture. So I'm not going to ask you questions now. I think some of the ideas we've talked about just now, with me giving you the evidence, etc. So I don't think I will be as detailed as I was just now. Okay. Yes. Linda will be very important towards the end of the play, because she will be the one to give the eulogy. Yes, to give the eulogy to or elegy to Willie when he passed away. Okay, and she's the one to survive. And then, of course, ultimately there was a question of whether in this play, she is as much a supportive character as Margaret, Elizabeth, the female characters are in Frankenstein. So I think that's a question we can ask. I'm not going to give you my answer now. I'll just analyze the way she behaves, or the way she performs in Act 1. First of all, she admires Willie. Definitely, this is a quote from the first stage direction, that there is an iron repression of her exception to Willie's behavior. I think I don't totally understand what the line means. I think that it says two things. One is that she makes exceptions to Willie's behavior. She always tolerates him. Okay. On the other hand, she represses her opinions. Okay. So there is this contradiction in her, that on the one hand she understands and accepts whatever Willie does, even if she knows about the affair. We don't know if she knows about the affair, but even if she knows it, she might be able to forgive him. Okay, that's the exception she's willing to make to Willie's behavior. But then on the other hand, she's also highly self-repressive. So she sometimes gives Willie's advice to try to bring him back to normality. So that's the two sides of her, repression and exception. Okay. For instance, on page 47, you get to see some lines she says, which actually tries to explain what happened, make it seem normal. For instance, Willie says that he almost had a car accident on the road. The car getting over to the shoulder, and then Linda says, "Oh, maybe it's the car steering, the steering again, the steering wheel." Okay, and then later on she said, "Oh, maybe it's the glasses." No, so she does not want to face the fact that Willie has problem with his mind. So she wants to give excuses or give reasons to avoid facing the real problem. Although later on she reveals to the brothers that Willie may be suicidal. Okay, at this point she does not want to face it. Okay, so that's Linda. Okay, but she, on the other hand, she's also more practical than Willie. She gives suggestion the way she could. For instance, really, she tells Willie that he should rest. He should go to Howard and ask to work in New York, so that he does not need to go on the long journeys as he does at the present time. Okay, and finally, she's a peacemaker. She speaks for Biff to Willie, and then she speaks for Willie to the boys. Okay, so in the first piece of dialogue, she excuses Biff. She says that Biff has problems and that's natural. And towards the end, she speaks very highly of the father of Willie in front of the sons. She even says that, "I love Willie. If you don't love him, then don't come back." Okay, because she knows that Biff is attached to her. Okay, so she says that you have to make a choice. If you want to love me, love us both. Okay, so she make a very clear statement about her siding with Willie. Okay. But wait, in the speech she makes, I think that she sees that there is something wrong between Willie and Biff, but she doesn't know why. She asked the question, why you used to love him so much? What's happened to you? Why do you not love him anymore? Okay, so that's the part that shows that Linda is actually blind. She does not know really what happened. Okay, and she's well loved by the two boys, definitely, and she defends Willie, and she demands attention to Willie. Let me show you the part of Linda's speech. I think Linda is a main factor that brings sympathy to Willie in this play. Okay, for instance, and some of the speeches she made for Willie is really well made. Let me give you an example. 69. Just right in the middle. A small man can be just as exhausted as a great man. He works for the company. 36 years this March. Opens up unheard of territories to their trademark. And now in his old age, they take his salary away. Okay, so this is one example of Linda's speech for Willie. And the next long one. Are they any worse than here Biff accuses those people who take off his salary. And then Linda said, are they any worse than his sons? When he brought them business when he was young, they were glad to see him, those colleagues, okay? But now his old friends, the old buyers that loved him so, and always found an order to hand him in a pinch, they're all dead, retired. He used to be able to make 7 calls a day in Boston. Now he takes his valises out of the car and put them back, and take them out again, and he's exhausted without making money. Okay, instead of walking, he talks now. He drives 700 miles, and when he gets there, no one knows him anymore. No one welcomes him, etc. So here is Linda, who is very understanding and who is very sympathetic with Willie. And I guess the same situation you may be able to find with your grandmother, grandfather, or any one of your relatives who retire. Because once people retire, then they can be easily forgotten if they don't join another workforce. Yeah, okay. And then very interestingly, when she talked about Willie's accident on page 70, she said that there was a woman. Okay, actually, she talked about a woman seeing Willie's walking down the road. Oh no, let me read it to you. 70. She says that he wasn't driving fast at all, and he didn't skid. So Willie's accident is not an accident. It's not actually an accident. Okay. So here, before then, Linda said, it seems there's a woman. She takes a breath sharply as content. What woman? Simultaneously. And this woman, what? Nothing. Go ahead. What did you say? What about her? Well, it seems that she walks down the road and saw this car. Okay. So Linda is actually talking about the woman who sees the accident and know that Willie didn't overspeed. Okay, but Biff is nervous because Biff saw that Linda knows about that woman, the woman in the affair. Okay, so all of this shows how Linda is perceptive but then also blind. Okay, this is a comparison between Biff and Happy. We can say that there are some things that make them similar. For instance, both of them are lost, nostalgic. They miss the old baths on which they sleep together. Okay, they have their dreams and plans, and they are attracted to women. Okay, and they keep having empty dreams about the Lehman Brothers, the company, but they actually don't know how to do it. The plan they set is actually not a very realistic one. They said that they want to sell the basketball with playing basketball games, and they lead 2 teams. But in order to do that, I guess they'll need a lot of money. They'll need a lot of money. So I think they have some empty dreams, unrealistic plans. So that shows that they are similar, okay, to each other. And towards the end of the Act 1, going to Bill Oliver, Biff's former employer, seems to be the solution because Bill Oliver says before he sends off Biff that he's always there for him. But we know that this can be just a matter of being polite. You know, I'm always there for you, but then I will not be always there in reality. Okay, so this is the thing about Bill Oliver, and also Biff left the company because he steals. So it's not very likely that Bill Oliver has a good impression of him. But then the two of them, just because Bill Oliver says, "Oh, I'm always there for you," they think that they can get a loan from Bill Oliver, and so that's the final plan they make towards the end of Act 1. Okay. On the other hand, Happy and Biff are also different. In the present moment, Happy seems to be content and working in his own way to be successful, you know, by laying women, by knocking down the supervisors in that way, or seeking revenge against them. Okay, but we can say that he's self-deceptive because getting those women does not mean that he'll be successful in business. No, the two things are still different. Okay, Biff, on the other hand, is worn out. Okay. Willie is worn out because he goes on long journeys. Biff is worn out because he goes from job to job and is never able to settle down. According to him, he gets about 20 to 30 jobs. That's really too much. Okay, I think he's about 32 at this point. Okay, so about in 10 years' time, he gets about 20 to 30 jobs. It means that he gets about 2 to 3 jobs in 1 year. Okay. But he has his dreams, and the dreams makes him similar to Willie, or shows that he inherits part of Willie's dreams. Willie's admiration of his father, gets passed down to Biff, because he is also interested in handiwork, farm work, and then he does not think that they belong to the city. They should be going out west. They can whistle and they can take off their shirts, etc., and be free, etc. Okay, and in the past, Biff was popular with women, so he introduced women to Happy. But now the tables are turned, and then Happy is more popular. Seems to be more popular with women. Okay, so these are the differences and similarities. I think later on we'll talk about another major difference, and that is Willie has high hope of Biff, but he ignores Happy. He tends to ignore Happy. At one point, Happy says, "Oh, Father, I'm going on a diet," but the father doesn't seem to respond to him. So I think this father does favor Biff over Happy, and that makes also a difference between the two of them. Okay.